What's up guys, Guillaume here and welcome back to Pro Summer 2022 for episode number 63 of the Cannondale Garmin career mode. In today's episode, we shall take a look at two of the brand new races this year, replacing the Dauphiné and the Tour de Suisse with Quiprotirodo and the Trans-European Tour. If you haven't seen the previous episode, I would absolutely recommend watching it, as it was completely mental. That's all I'm gonna say. I think this may be the first time that Greece ever hosted a World Tour race. There's obviously the Tour of Hellas and the Tour of Rhodos, but they are both either 1-1 or HC. But for the first stage, we are going from Bafra to Lefkiosa in the Great Island of Cyprus, so that's why it's not in Greece. nice one, Guillaume. That's great. Geography has worked out after 43 seconds of video. But it's a World Tour race. It replaces the Dauphiné. It's an interesting parkour. We've got Stefan Kung, we've got Verenschold for the sprint stages, we've got Brent McNulty for the GC. Can we be as good as we've been on the Giro? Well, I hope not, because we haven't been great on the Giro, except on the one singular stage. Preparing the final sprint here, 15 kilometers until the end. I've read some more comments about the sprints that happened during the Super Giro d'Italia. So the main thing that really came out is that my sprint team is absolutely horrendous, and it's true, right? I'm still using Pierre-André Côté as my my lead out man. He was technically my lead out man when I created the save. That was 6 seasons ago, so that will change in the next season. I've got at least 5 or 6 sprinters already in the dossiers. I will make some transfers this year. Last year I didn't. This year I will. So do expect to see some new faces in the team in the upcoming season. But we are nearing the end of the first stage of Quiprotirodo. It is Stefan Kung at the front in the stage between the great town of Wingardium and Lefkiosa. That's a good one, guys. And we're going for Zoran Verenschold. He's the only competent sprinter in this team, even though I do have Tyler Farrar, but he's shit. So, yeah, hopefully Maro Schmidt can launch him, right? You've asked for good lead out men. I'm giving you Maro Schmidt with 71 sprint. Not sure you could have asked for better here. And I have made a mistake. I pressed Z instead of E, meaning that I dropped Verenschold a bit. That is fine. Kevin Vermarker still at the front. Through the barriers. Perfect. That's the ideal line here. Really going for the apex, Kevin Vermarker. There goes... Nope, I've done it again. I've done it again. Great. Well, if I lose this, it's deserved, right? Yeah, it's deserved. It's deserved. I've pressed Z twice because my keyboard has moved. Like my hand position on the keyboard wasn't optimized, and it led to me finishing 8th of a sprint I should definitely not have lost. +4 for Zoran, +5 for Stefan Kung for yet another sprint stage between Lefkiosa and Larnaca. Great little island. Famous for having a football club, the AEK Larnaca, and I'm pretty sure there might have been some controversy a couple of years ago regarding the geography of the island. But yeah, 120 kilometers. This time I can confirm, right? Hashtag here we go in the words of Fabrizio Romano. Can confirm my hands are on the A button, meaning that in case of an attack or a sprint, I should be able to do the adequate command. Right, this time I'll make sure that I don't miss the sprint button. I, however, feel like Zoran Verenschold may have missed the cut here. He's being blocked by Arnaud Demar. Arnaud. I liked you until, now. There goes Mauro Schmidt. We're gonna go to the right because otherwise I'm gonna get blocked, and we've been blocked. There goes Zoran. It's a top 10 finish. It's a win for Filberhaus today, ahead of Zoran Verenschold with a late comeback, and Pierre Gauthera. It's P2, you know. It's P2. We have a huge stage today, possibly the queen stage of this Quiprotirodo, as we leave Tseri to go to the Mount Olympus. We'll first begin with the Aios Nikolaos Pass, also known as the Pass of Saint Nicholas, then the Madari, then for the first time Mount Olympus, and then Kalonomate? Yeah, Kalonomate, Kikos, Prodromos, and finally Olympus, where one shall be crowned amongst the gods. We've got the Mandem, Zeus is watching, Poseidon is there, Hades popped by, He was in hell, clearly. He came back just to watch the race. He's actually in a VIP position, thanks to ASO, my guys. So, yeah, this is a big one. And Brandon, he's already king of America. Can he be king of the world? Can he be king of the gods? Well, only time will tell. We've gone across the summit of the Mount Olympus for the first time. It is a 79-man peloton with no one at its helm, going in the downhill portion. Gap with the breakaway, more than 9 minutes now, so I'm gonna have to pace once again with Nordhagen. He did the entire climb of both Madari and Olympus on his own, trying to limit the gap to what it currently is. We've got Barnard in the lead, followed by Callum Johnston and then Domen Novak. Mark Hirschi and Gonzalo Serrano are following, but yeah, there's quite a few gaps already. Stefan Küng got dropped, Veron got dropped, but Brandon is looking quite fine. 36 kilometers left, still 7 minutes for the breakaway. This group is kind of stupid. They haven't paced. Nordhagen is now in A1, but he has literally been pacing since the start of Madari, and he ended his run at the summit of the Calonomate Pass. It's ridiculous the work he did. Sadly, it doesn't seem to be enough right now to be able to fight for the win, even though David Gaudieu is the one leading the group here. Serrano and Asparen are chasing. You've got Mark Hirschi, but it is a stellar performance today by Callum Johnston and by Matthew Barnard. Doing very well. Doing very, very well. We'll see if Kevin Vermarker can provide some support in the coming kilometers of the stage, but I highly doubt it. Penultimate climb, Prodromos, 2.4k, average of 13%, 430 for the two leaders. Xavier Asparen trying to come back. It's not Xavier Asparen, it's another Asparen, but it's not the one I know. Trying to come back. Mauro Schmidt has managed to give water to Brandon McNulty. That's poggers. That's a big dub here. Brandon trying to stay with everyone here. Got some attacks. Camilo Ardila and Ainer Rubio going for some moves. Meanwhile, in the peloton, we're trying to just stay afloat here with Sports Proximus, led by Enric Mas. Got Michael Rona for Vacances Soleil. It's very much chaotic, but we're still here. It's very difficult. It's a very difficult stage. It's a very fun stage. That's the one thing I'll say. It's a very fun stage. 2:37 for the breakaway. I'm not sure they'll make it. I don't think they're sure as well either. We're going to try and come back on this small group here with Yates, Rona, Ardila, and Sienna Utebrooks. Sienna, who's one of my targets for next season. We're going to bridge with them and just try to stay in this group. Chilled rhythm. Meanwhile, we've got Anton Lesiak trying to bring everyone back. By everyone, Adjumine Enric Mas, Hugo Jiquel, and Avner Gonzalez. What? 1 minute 20. Oh, Bernard and Johnston are gone. I know Rubio Asparen seem to be maybe struggling a bit, trying to bridge the two riders up front. Adam Yates with a massive rhythm here. Rona able to follow, but Sienna Utebrooks is no more. 5.8 kilometers until the summit of Mount Olympus. Rubio bridged to the gap ahead. We came back on Asparen. He tried a lot of things. He's attacked about 55 kilometers ago. But now Rubio goes on his own. With 4 kilometers left as Asparen cracks. Johnston cracks as well. So does Bernard. It is Colombia versus Yates and McNulty in the final 3 kilometers of Olympus. The road is getting flatter a bit more here, but we are lacking energy. That's the one thing I'll say. We are lacking energy, and Rubio doesn't. Rubio isn't lacking energy. The gap is increasing to nearly a minute now in favor of the Colombian. I think he's the one that will be crowned atop Mount Olympus with the gods, with Percy Jackson, the Donny who stole the lightning bolt. It's going to be probably P2 for McNulty, maybe P3. It's a win today for Ainer Augusto Rubio for Once ahead of Brandon McNulty. Adam Yates claims P3 with Rona P4, and Barnard will try and hold on to a remarkable P5. He won't. It's Asparen. Asparen gets P5. What a stage this has been. Yeah, yes. you know, just for this stage alone, I'm glad I've replaced the Dauphiné. We've got some more sprints today between Larnaca and Ayos Georgios. 160 kilometers to be exact. It's +5 for Zoran Vrenscheld. Last time we got P2. The last stage we also got P2. Are we going to carry on with this streak? Or are we going to improve on it? Hopefully, the latter. So what happened is quite funny. So basically, I don't know what happened. Everyone got dropped in the hill here. I think I went for like water, and it dropped everyone. But it dropped everyone in my team. And the peloton paced. They paced big times. Andreas Krohn is now one of my most hated riders. Brandon is trying to come back, but he's got no energy. Alright, it does seem that everyone slowed down once we came back, which is good. That means that my sprint isn't done yet. Most of my riders are done, though that's the case for my Rochemate, for Nordhagen, for Vermarker. I'll try and play this quite smartly, even though I'm probably going to struggle to do so. But we're gonna throw Alexander Balmer at the front of the train, then McNulty, then Zoran Vrenscheld. I've got Inigo Lefebvre in the wheel. No real sprinter. Okay, we've got Vinny Germain in direct slipstream of Zoran Vrenscheld. Brandon McNulty is going to take the left side of the road here. There goes Brandon. Zoran, well placed. Zoran launches with 1k to go. I tried to launch maybe a bit earlier than I usually would. Is it going to pay off? It's going to be a battle with Germain and Romain Zingle. Alex Zingle, sorry, but it's a win for Zoran Vrenscheld. It's our first win in very conspicuous the scenario, but it is a win nonetheless for us today. A chance to create some gaps in the general classification and to potentially come back on Einer Rubio. That is the aim of today's stage between Akrotiri and Panopanaya. 130 kilometers, very short stage today with some climbs along the way and the climbs towards Statoth Aifotios at the end. There is a possibility of a sprint. That is my main worry, but then again, the summit is 4 kilometers from the end. We could definitely see an attack. Vermark has a +4, Brandon has a +5, he's also triggered his fitness peak, which I'm both happy and not happy at the same time, because that means he may be tired for the end of the Tour de France, which is my main objective with Brandon this year. Fast-paced would be one word, or two words, used to describe this stage, hence the absolute lack of breakaway. There was an attempt very early on, your usual PCM breakaway, and it just didn't make it very far. It made it until the summit of Perapedi, but since then, just a very strong rhythm by Once and mainly by Sonny Colbrelli and Victor Lafay. These two men are responsible for the peloton only having 77 riders left. That is solely their responsibility, and also David Goduz. David, I must say, fine work as a teammate, not the finest work as an opponent. 6k until the summit, 6k until the end of the stage, 1 kilometer until the summit. We're gonna attack. This is the difficult portion of the climb. We'll go for a big attack, a big lunge with Brandon McNulty, and everyone follows. Not how I had initially planned this, but fuck it. Actually, a bit of a break here. Alejandro Vere doing Lord's work by cracking out. Come on, son, just don't use too much of your energy. You don't want to be like completely dead. No, you. Okay, clearly, apparently you do. I know Rubio seems strong. Okay, I won't drop them. I'll reduce the rhythm. I'll try to go for the sprint here. Is Rubio gonna lead everyone out? That's odd, but sure, why not? Downhill portion. And here's the wall. Brandon is going to try and go through here. It's going to be another win for Ana Rubio. It's another win for Ana Rubio. Actually, Rona, do something, please. Come on, son. No? Okay, it's P3 for McNulty today. And we have reached Rhodos. We've left Cyprus behind. First stage between Creston Royal Hotel area and Kothkinu. It's down at the north of the island, near Rhodos, near Faliraki, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Actually, I'm pretty much certain I'm wrong. I don't think... Is Faliraki here? What did I get wrong? I got drunk in most places in Rodo, to be fair. Do drink responsibly. Yes, I have a young audience, so please, if you were to ever consume the devil's liquor, take it with moderation. With that PSA out of the way, we've got 165 kilometers today and a hilly finish, but let's be honest, it's all for Zoran Verenschald and or Brian McNulty today. And for a reason that is yet still unclear to me, Hugo Page has decided to attack with 6 kilometers left, maybe trying to anticipate the sprint in Koskinu, but it's weird because he's a good sprinter and he can also go across hills rather successfully. So one could wonder why the French champion has gone for a move, maybe to try and I don't know, showcase his talents to the general manager of Cannondale Garmin. He is one of the riders on the shortlist in case of some reinforcements in next year's sprint lineup. Kevin Vermarker is going to start the sprint toward Koskinu. Mr. Zoran Verenschald in the wheel. The Norwegian goes with 800 meters to go. It's very early, actually. It's very, very early. I launched Nordhagen and Schmidt for the vibes. Zoran Verenschald, unmatched, unrivaled. It is a 1-2 for Garmin Cervelo today, for Cannondale Garmin, Verenschald, McNulty, and Axel Zang, wrapping up the podium. Some more hills today between Yalitos and the Mont Filerimos. It's very difficult to pronounce Greek word when you're not speaking fluent Greek, and obviously, well, no one is. Alright, 140 kilometers today, a lot of elevation, but a finish that doesn't really look like it's going to create some gaps. So with 50 seconds to catch on Ene Rubio, I feel like we may not do it. There is a chance again tomorrow between Lindoth and Embonas. But if Rubio is strong, Rubio will win the first ever Kiproti Rodo. And also, if you've enjoyed Kiproti Rodo, then do tell me in the comments so that it can make an apparition in next season as well. We're going to start the Mont Filerimos in 1 kilometer. Mauro Schmidt is going to take the lead of the peloton and use the gel immediately on everyone. It's a 5-man train, but I don't count on Stefan Kung. He's just here to try and prevent everyone else from taking the wheel of a good old Brandon. 2k to go. There goes Kevin Vermark, strong rhythm by the winner of the Ardennes Classic. Literally every one of them. Brandon may have to take the wheel of Mr. Vermarker here. Yep. We're going to switch the wheel to Kevin Vermarker. Brandon with a strong rhythm yet again. Mr. Yates seems good. Brandon seems better. It's going to be a win at the Mont Filerimos for McNulty. Although Yates comes back. Oh, yo. Hey, yo. Adam. How has Adam done this then? How has Adam got... What? What kind of juju has he used? It's a win for Adam Yates. Final stage of Kiproti Rodo between Lindoth and Embonas. 191 kilometers. We've got a lot of mountains upon us today. Aios Herasim, Aios Nectarios, Aios Atanas, Aios Isidor, Aios John Prodomos, Salakos. Why is this in French? But okay, we've got the prophet. How the fuck do you say that in English? The one who preaches. Well, it's not a preacher, but fuck it, we'll tell that. Then Salakos again, Elijah again, Salakos again, and then the sprint or the climb towards Embonas. It's a difficult stage. It's a very, very difficult stage on paper, and everything is yet to play for, even in a GC led by Aine Rubio, the +5 of Brandon today, and the good race days of the rest of my team could help me in making a remarkable comeback, but I usually reserve them for Grand Tours. I must say the Col du Prophète Elijah, I guess, has proven to be very tricky, both for the peloton and the breakaway. Kevin Vermarker has lost a lot of positions due to narrow roads. I'm going to try and have him come back. Brandon's still at the front. Stefan Kung was the final rider alongside Finn Fischer-Black. However, he did collapse a couple of 100 meters ago. So we'll see how that pans out for the Swiss rider. I wanted to use him as a satellite rider. I'm not going to play Lena again, right? The Eurovision is fun, and I'll play more Eurovision snippets in upcoming videos, but I don't want to use the same over and over again. But yeah, I wanted to use him as a satellite. I'm not sure how he now fits in my plans. I think for me the key element right now would be having Vermarker come back on Brandon McNulty so I can have an added teammate to try and make everything explode in the upcoming climb. Oh, and wait, where's Rubio? Oh, Rubio cracked already. Rubio's done. I was surprised by the lack of teammates of Onsa, but I figured that it was just not going to be enough. But the strong rhythm of the peloton, well, that's what it means. It means that Mr. Rubio has dropped with 35 kilometers remaining until the end of the stage. I've attacked here with Ronald Adam Yates to try and bridge to Simon Yates. What the fuck is the noise I just made? That, no. But to try and bridge to Simon Yates, Abner Gonzalez, Hugo Giquel, and Sienna Utebrooks. I do not want to let these guys go. The fact that there is no GC leader in the group behind mostly meant that no one would have taken the chase except probably me, and that's not something I was willing to do. So yeah, that's why we attacked. I'll keep an eye on Einer, but I think, and I'm pretty much convinced that he is done. He is alongside Ken Vermerker, more than 3 minutes and 30 seconds behind the lead of Brandon McNulty. I decided against attacking, and that may prove to be quite costly here. I was relying on Alexandre Balmer to catch these guys here. It didn't work. Meaning that I'm now 30 seconds behind the group of Rona and Yates, and this time they are pacing. They didn't pace when I first came back on the group head. Now, trust me, they're giving everything they've got to try and prevent us from winning the GC. This is a final stage of a 1 week race. It should not be this chaotic, yet it is 30 seconds. I need to do some mathematics here, but I cannot afford to lose a lot. 127, 44 seconds. I can afford to lose 43 seconds on Mr. Rona here, otherwise I will lose Kiproti-Rodo. And I'm going to lose Kiproti-Rodo. This is one of the biggest disaster class of my career. I did everything right, and the one thing I didn't do is, well, believe that the breakaway could win. Well, sorry, believe that the other riders wouldn't win. And they did. Yates takes the stage in Embonath and wins Kiproti-Rodo. This is absolutely disgraceful. Let's move on to the Trans-European race, because I'm terrifyingly angry at my riders and at myself here. We've moved on to the second race of the episode. That is the Trans-European Tour. Stage 2, the reason as to why there is no Stage 1. No, I didn't forget to record it. No, I didn't play in times 8. I tried to load the stage. It was 3 p.m. and 52 minutes. Okay. It is now 4 p.m. and 19 minutes. That is a gap of more than 25 minutes just to load Generation Sprints. I gave up. I felt like it was going nowhere, whereas I have to be somewhere in a respectable amount of time. Therefore, I simmed it. So I'll show you the result, but it was a sprint stage won by Madis Michels ahead of Wout van Aert and Mats Pedersen. Oh, and Ulrich is in P3, my driller. 2.5 kilometers to go. We're not going to have a good performance in Scalite. It was a difficult stage for my team, even for Lenny Martinez. I mean, you can see the energy on Lenny. He just won the Giro, and he was barely able to stay in the peloton in Garshima Ochochita. Which I feel like this rider really surprises me every single day. And when I finally think I've got him like in a box in my mind, he just goes outside of it and just does something completely mental. It's P31 today for Lenny on a flattish stage. More hills today. It's a +4 for Pierre Côté. It's a 0 for Talafara. That's everything I wanted to hear. Final 6 kilometers of the stage, and it is going to be a sprint. Or at least, no, it's going to be a sprint. There's 130 riders in the group in Hnouchta. We'll use the gel, and we'll be sprinting for Mr. Pierre-André Côté. He'll be led by the world champion, Joël Suter, by Giro d'Italia winner, Lenny Martinez, and by Giro d'Italia participant, Mason Ray. And with 59 sprint, or actually 66 sprint. Okay, Lenny has a better start than I expected, and it's actually going to be a win for Pierre-André Côté today. It is going to be a win in 2028. Pierre-André Côté is a World Tour stage winner. Yes! He's been there from day one. He was our first World Tour winner. And he's still alive and kicking 6 years in. Well done, lad. We've got a time trial upon us. Let's be completely clear. I'm not winning. Luke Plapp is in the lead right now ahead of Kasper Asgreen and Remy Cavagna. And whilst it may not stay like that, Lenny Martinez will not be one of the riders aiming for that P3. Plapp and Asgreen kept first and second place. Tadej Pogacar slotted himself in P3, and it means that GC-wise, Luke Plapp leads for Foxy by Vodafone ahead of Wout van Aert and Kasper Asgreen. Our first rider in said general classification is Mason Ray. He sits 1 minute and 40 seconds behind the Aussie. When it comes to Mr. Lenny Martinez, he's 3 minutes and 10 seconds behind. He didn't have a great day. I've had that maybe an issue with some of the sprint stages because this one has taken very long time to just load, and it actually didn't load. I've waited 10 minutes, but I've got other things to do. So I've simmed it, and it's Tim Merlier who takes it ahead of Wout van Aert and Mats Pedersen. GC-wise, we didn't lose any seconds today in a stage that could have been very tricky for the untalented riders that I currently dispose of in this 1 week race. Stage number 6 in the general classification that is now nowhere to be seen for the boys of Cannondale Garmin. We'll just try and have fun on this stage. Maybe attack, maybe win, possibly attack. I feel like the breakaway will take this one. It's quite sad. I've been pacing, or at least 84 effort for 30 kilometers, but the roads were so narrow. I've never managed to find a gap. I'm hoping that thanks to this gap, we may finally now, or thanks to the width of the roads now, we may finally come back on the breakaway. But even if we were to come back on the breakaway, I'll just try and negotiate something really quickly here with Pierre-André Coté and Joël Suter. Actually, we are going to come back on the breakaway. Heartbreak for Norway here. Johannesson and Svestad Bartsong. Heartbroken for them. But I don't have time to think of the feelings of some of Norway's finest, as I've lost to Estonia's finest. It's a win for Mads Mikkels ahead of Tim Merlier and Jake Stewart. I am shockingly nowhere to be seen. Penultimate stage of a race that hasn't suited my team whatsoever. One stage is the only thing I have here to mention, but apart from that, it's really just been quite poor, if I'm being honest. I'll try and mitigate that and just there's a word I'm looking for here. I'm trying to make up, I guess, for the shocking performances, and we'll try and get a win today in Novi Sad. It's not a finish that really suits any of my riders. It could have suited Lenny, but he has a -3. Lenny's pacing 90 and he cannot even be at the front of the peloton. What are you doing? What is he doing? Genuinely, who is this kid and how does he want to grow up with me? Because this just doesn't make sense here. It simply does not. I'll try and accelerate with Joël Suter to try and put Mason in the best position in case of a sprint finish, but it feels like Marco Brenner may take the stage today. Actually, no, he won't. He will not. It's Juan Ayuso, Tadej Pogacar takes it in Fruška Gora. Could that be in Slovenia? Maybe in Slovakia, actually. Tadej, Juan Ayuso, Raul Garcia with a late comeback here. Don't tell me Tadej is going to celebrate too early. No, okay, no, he's not. He's not. It nearly did, but he hasn't. It's fine. Tadej, Garcia, Ayuso, Brenner, and we'll take low top 10s with Joël and Mason Ray today. Lenny Martinez with a disaster class. +3 for Lenny as we wrap up the Trans-European Tour. Again, just like Kiproti Rodo, tell me if you want to see this racemaker come back next year. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the Greek adventure. Mostly because I've been shit on this one, and well, in Greece I've been shit on the last stage. So maybe we could see some sort of a predicament here. I've been tragic the entire way in this race. Maybe the last stage is where I'm actually going to shine. I decided to have fun, and the peloton clearly is against fun because they're not letting me attack with Lenny Martinez, who's 3 minutes and 20 seconds behind. I'm not a threat, lads. I terrifyingly am not a threat. I know I'm a Giro winner, but right now I'm more of a fraud. Look at them pacing. Fucking Richard Carapaz is sprinting to catch me. He's not pacing. He's sprinting. What am I meant to do here? Disgraceful. Alright, we'll wrap up the episode with 2 NCs. The first one in Costa Rica. Well, actually, the first road stage and time trial will be in Costa Rica. We've got Aaron Lissano. We'll take a look at the time trial. If he's got a good day, it's good. If he doesn't, we're fucked. And he doesn't. Right, we're going to lose this one. We ran out of energy with Aaron Lissano, meaning that across the line, it's probably going to be like P3 or something. It's P4, and it's going to be P7. We're going to be 4 minutes last today in Costa Rica. Hopefully we'll be better on the road race. Sorry. If this man ever wants to have a good day, today could have been the day for Aaron Lissano. Well, good on him. He's just managed to join the winning breakaway of the Costa Rican Championships. Whether he'll win them, that's another story. We're in the final hill of the Costa Rican NC. I have no yellow. I'm physically dead. Peña has murdered. Like I haven't paced. I've been relaying 36 since the start of the NC, which was 200 kilometers ago, and I'm collapsing. And just like that, Peña is going to win the Costa Rican NC. Lizano's done. I've rarely seen this. It's over this stage. He just collapsed. Oh, they couldn't let me go, but they had no issues letting them one attacks. Fuck, they've let Svetstad Bartseng attack, but not Lenny Martinez. Outrageous. Alright, who takes the final stage then in Baina Vasta? Madedu seems to be in a good position. Madedu, 60 sprint and he's won this. Wow. That just about wraps up today's episode. I think it started well. Started alright with Kipro Tirodo. But then the Trans-European Tour and mostly the Costa Rican NCs have been very much below par when it comes to the quality of the racing. Hopefully it'll improve in the next episode, which will be the rest of the national championships. We'll have plenty of those. And I have a history of being quite bad at them. Let's make sure that this year is different. And then we'll move on to the Tour de France, or the Hannibal race as it is now called. If you've enjoyed today's episode, then please do leave a like down below. If you're new to the channel and want to see more of this content going forward, then feel free to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you in the very, very near future. My name is Guillaume, have an amazing day. See ya.
Pass me the funk, get your funk on, girl, and don't you ever let it go. We're getting drunk in here, and what comes next will